Hey guys, kevSpec. Welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a headlight restore for you. So all the way from a quick polish to sanding to applying the clear coat to the finished product. So I hope you enjoy this one. This one's probably something that really bugs you guys out there and you're probably not sure on how you can actually repair those headlights. You don't have to buy new headlights. They are restorable. So check out the video. Don't forget to give it a like if you like the video. These are the products I used. So you'll find out in the video, this is the one that I didn't have too much success with. So this was the 2-pack. Now I'm not saying that the product was at fault, it was probably mostly me, but maybe a little bit more expertise, maybe a little bit more of a professional person could use this product. So this is just your 2-pack clear. This is the one that I didn't have any success with. And the one that I did have success with, just your standard acrylic, no fuss clear, there's nothing fancy about it, just top coat clear. This one did specify to use with a base coat, so there could a problem be there, so who knows. Anyway, don't forget to check out the web store. Got stickers, got merch, got t-shirts, got caps, got all kinds of stuff on the merch store, www.kevspec.com. I hope you're well. Thank you for all my subscribers that are staying with me. We've got that martini fluid giveaway coming up soon, and the cruise is just around the corner, so I'll have some really good footage of the cruise and us at the pub, and just you'll finally get to see what FPVGTC is about from kevSpec view and through my eyes. So stay tuned to the cruise video. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Sit back and relax. I hope you like this one. Stay safe and love yous. And if you've got any comments, don't be scared to chuck them down. Good, bad and the ugly. I don't care if you have a crack at me or you've got some good input. Always willing to learn and always willing to have a laugh. So enjoy the video. Stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, kevSpec. Alright, today I can't live with it anymore. We've got a cruise in a couple of weeks. These bloody headlights have been annoying me for 6 months. I did have a go at them about a year ago and sort of gave up because I thought they were too damaged, but I'm going to have another go today using a couple of different systems. We're going to try just polishing, and I'll show you what the result is from just a quick hand polish to a full restore. So you can probably see, I'll zoom in a little bit and show you, these headlights have gone cloudy and milky. It's pretty standard for plastic headlights. They've got a clear lacquer over them from the factory, and that deteriorates with UV sunlight, wear and tear, all that kind of stuff, and it gets that yellowy tinge. So I'll just show you what we're looking at. Okay guys, so I'm sure you can see, especially at the top part of the headlight, how it's gone cloudy and milky, and it just looks crap in my opinion. Especially the G6E lights in this particular design have the chrome internal finish, where some of the other different coloured FGs have the darker finish. So you really need those lenses to pop to make the front look nice and clean. So that's what we're going to attempt today. Let's give you a bit of a better look. Yeah, so you can definitely see, especially where the bonnet's been closed. You can see along that top edge is all protected, sort of just there, where the sun, the UV and the weather hasn't quite got to the lens, and it's still in reasonably good nick. And then just below it, you see that milkiness, yellow discoloration. We're going to try and fix that. Alright, so for headlights that aren't too badly damaged, it's a bit of a quick fix. It's not a permanent solution. Look, I've done this a lot in the past for customers' car, you know, just out of love, trying to help them out doing a service, instead of selling them a bloody $100 restore kit that'll only last 12 months anyway. Those restore kits are okay, and it also depends a lot on the application and how far the headlight has deteriorated for those wipes to work properly. But they do a good job, but it's only a short-term fix. They'll only ever last a year or two. So I've just got some reasonably good quality polish. It's not fantastic, but it's a good quality polish. And we're basically just going to polish out. So I'll do one side. Now unlike a car, when you're polishing these, you can pretty much go for it. Obviously on a car, if you were to use a lot of polish, it's just not good for the paint, and you can dull it, you can do all kinds of things, but put a nice amount of polish on there. And rub, rub, rub. It's just an elbow grease thing. Now, yeah, you can use a buffer to do this. You obviously got to be careful. You don't want to burn the plastic, as with paint. And you could use a bit of a cutting compound first instead of polish. I just want to give you an idea. Just a lazy man's, you know, quick job on a Saturday morning or something. You just want to neat, you know, you got a cruise, or you just want them to look a bit better for a couple of months until you replace them or do a proper restore and respray them, like I'm possibly going to do with these. You can probably see already it's gotten rid of a little bit of that dullness. And what I'll actually do, and no, I'm not sponsored by AutoGil, before and after look, so you can see how she comes up. And I'm just going to do half the headlight here, it's just a test purpose, just to show you guys what results you can get from a quick 15-minute polish, really. Especially if they're not, like if you do this regularly, your clear coat will last a lot longer. So if you were to do this from near new and do it every 6 months when you polish the car or whatever, I do believe my opinion is you'll get a lot more life out of your clear coat, especially if the car's not garaged and out of the sun. Just want to go in multiple directions, because you want to try and get out as much of, you know, circular, back and forth. It's just an elbow grease sort of a thing, guys. Yeah, like I said, you can use a buff if you want. I think you'll see with just a bit of elbow grease how good these can come up. And drop something in the comments, guys, if you think, you know, you've got a better way of doing it, or, you know, I'm always willing to learn of new techniques and new tricks, because there's always something new on the market. You know, you hear all kinds of crazy things on the internet, you know, spraying with WD-40 and all kinds of things, but for me, polishing's the best quick fix that you can do for your plastic headlights. So we're really starting to get there now. I don't know if the camera's quite picking it up from that distance. I'll zoom in and show you in a minute. But I can see a fantastic difference already. We'll just wipe the polish off, give it a bit of a shine. I think you can see already, guys, what a result. 5 minutes of elbow grease. So you can clearly see. Alrighty, guys, so here's the result of that 5 minutes of polishing. And I think you can clearly see how well that's come up. It's not perfect, no. But like I said, if you're just over that milkiness and you just want it quickly fixed for a few months, I think you can really see there where I've put that masking tape on. So obviously that side's not polished and that side's polished. So you can see it's got 90% of the hazing away and looks quite good. But we'll see if we can't get it a little better than that, eh? Right, so I'm just masking up around the headlights in preparation for sanding. Obviously when you're sanding you don't want to touch your paint. So I'm just masking up the painted surface, ready for some sanding. Right, we're just going to start with some 800 wet and dry, just to take the bulk of the yucky discoloration and that off. Let's do this. It's a bit of a knack thing. This is no real way I can explain on how far to go. You can sort of feel when you've gone far enough. You can hear it, you can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it's already starting to, the milkiness is starting to come away. 800's pretty aggressive. Just go lightly. You can see it's sanding some of that clear coat away, some of that milkiness. So I've just done this one with the 800 and I'm just feeling to see if I've gone far enough. So you can feel this light, even after that polish, you can feel the rough pits and just roughness of the light. So the 800, you just want to take all them little, you might still feel some really fine pitting, but depending on how bad your headlight is. But I reckon, you don't want to go too far, but I reckon that's pretty good. I can feel that there's a couple of little pits through there, but the clear coat will take most of those pitting up. And then once you're happy with your 800, so basically the job of the 800 is to strip all the yuck back. All the pits, all the imperfections, chips, flaky, whatever it is on there. You want the 800 to get 90% of that off. So you're happy that you've got a nice, flat, smooth surface to work with again. And then we'll go on to the 1200 wet and dry sandpaper. And that'll bring it back up. Ready for some clear coat. I'll be back. It's just a good indication that you've stripped it back. So you can see on this top edge here, where I haven't stripped it back, that doesn't really need anything, that's already mint. We'll just go over that with 1200. Alright. So yeah, they may look dull now. We're about to re-sand them now with 1200. Ready for preparation for paint. Stay tuned. Alright, so we've got the 1200 wet and dry sandpaper now. And this should be our final sand before the new clear coat. So this is primarily, because like I said, the 800's pretty aggressive and it leaves scratches. Yeah, you can almost feel them. So basically your 1200 is just going to take back that rough feel of the 800 sandpaper. Final stage of sanding, so that's now the 1200 done. So just to go over, we did it first with 800 to take back most of the yucky. I cheated a little bit off camera. This lower part I had to hit with 400 just to take it back, to get back to a nice clean surface. So you can see now while we've done the 800 and then gone over it with 1200, it's got a really nice even smoky effect, which is basically a nice even sandback. You can feel there's very minimal. Remember at the start we said we could feel the pitting, we could feel all the chips and all the yucky. You can feel when it's right. It's just a practice thing. If you guys haven't sanded much before, it's just a bit of a feel. You'll know when it's right. You can see sort of light and dark spots where you haven't quite sanded enough, or if you've sanded too much, you'll see the heavy scratches from the old sandpaper, so you've got to go over it a bit more. Anyway, so 2000 now is the final sand. Probably a little excessive to be precise. 1200 probably would have been enough, to be totally honest. Now the 2000 should almost start to bring back a bit of a shine. Well, not a shine, it'll start to, once you start going over sort of 1200, you're into your finishing sandpapers. You know what I mean? Like these are, almost final prep before polish grade, grit, whatever you want to call it. So it doesn't need too much with the 2000. Okay guys, so next step, before you obviously paint, we need to protect the paintwork from overspray. So obviously whenever you're using any kind of spray paint, there's going to be spray paint where you don't want it to be, especially on your paintwork, engine bay, wherever. So good old masking tape and newspaper is the best trick for masking up those spots you don't want overspray on. You don't have to go too far. Alrighty guys, I'm just showing you where I've masked up. So you can see you want to get right in behind the cracks, because where you don't mask, the paint will go 100%. You think you've got it covered and the paint will find little cracks. So make sure you get right in and behind wherever you need to go. And as you can see, I've covered a good foot, at least a 1.5 feet, you know, 18 inches. The whole front bar's more or less covered. Same on this light. And all the cracks. Make sure, because it's going to drip down, so I've also double taped underneath the headlight, so when it runs down it doesn't soak through the paper. Alrighty, so we're all prepped, we're all masked up, and we're all covered the engine and pretty happy. I'm quite lucky today, the wind's actually going that way, so it's coming away from the car, so it's going to be very minimal overspray even if I do get a bit. So let's give this headlight just Prepsol, wax and grease remover. Let's give it a good clean. Alrighty guys, wish me luck, it's now or never. Got a bit of a windy day today, so I'm just going to try and wait for a spot, the wind dies down a bit. Alrighty, here goes. Well, that had better clear up, or that's going to be a fail. That's going to be a huge fail. Oh, crow's feet in it and all. Nah. What the hell has happened to this? Nah, epic fail, guys. So, epic fail 101, check that out. Oops. And I used the wrong thinners to get it off. Oops. I think we're looking at 2 new headlights here. Alrighty guys, after our epic fail yesterday, I've spent all night and all this morning sanding the 2-pack clear off, which I've found is probably the wrong product for this type of lens. Got a different product. Let's see if we can have a winner this time, eh? Or am I buying new lights? Alright, here goes nothing. Oh guys, I think we have a winner. Oh baby. Yeah. First coat's looking absolutely mint. Oh, thank God for that. All right, well, there you go, guys. Lesson learned. Do not use 2-pack enamel clear for headlights. So I'll let that flash off, and I'll give it another coat, and it should be brand new. And that, my friends, is a win. Look at that, brand new. Hey, they've come up beautiful. So I'll let them dry. Don't think we need another coat. Alright, so we've let this paint dry for a good couple of days now. Now, obviously you've seen it was a little bit windy and I'm obviously painting outside. So I did get a couple of little bugs and a couple of little bits and pieces in the clear when I sprayed the second coat of clear. But you typically put it on a little bit thick, knowing that you're going to have to, what's called basically denibbing or getting rid of the junk in the clear. So what I didn't film, I didn't actually film that. But just 2000. So once they were really nice and dry after about 2 days, I went over the bugs and the little bits in the paint with 2000 just to flatten it off and get those little imperfections out. But it has dulled it just a tiny bit, that 2000 grit sandpaper. So we're just going to go over it with just a mild cutters and then polish them up, and that'll be the final finish. So I've just got some general purpose cutters here. It's nothing too savage. Just going to give them basically a good cut and polish. Right, so we're going to give it a good hand polish now to take away that dullness that the cutters has put into it. Alrighty, what do you reckon, guys? Winner? I reckon for the time and money spent, you know, we're talking, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks in products, not much. But they've come up Mickey Mouse. Yes, if you zoom in and look closely, where I had to take off that first coat of paint, I went really aggressive with the sandpaper. I took it back with 80 and 180 grit. So there are a couple of lines in the lens that I should have sanded out with like 320 or 400 that I didn't quite get out, and they're deep in the lens, but from a foot away from the car you can't see them. You'd have to be zoomed up with your head on the headlight to see them, and I reckon from what they were to what they are now, they look terrific. So let me know in the comments, guys. What do you reckon? Waste of time or a beautiful thing? Like, I reckon they've come up really nice. One restored headlight. So there you have it, one headlight restore. Just want to give a massive shout out to all you guys, all the subscribers, everyone watching. Thank you so much for supporting me, and of course my sponsor Martini Racing. Thank you so much, you guys. Martini have been absolutely awesome throughout the year and supporting me and my car and the channel. I cannot thank them enough. We have some exciting news on that. I did give you a little bit of a heads up on the last one. Very shortly we'll have some Martini Racing product lubricants to give away. Don't know if it's going to be in this video or the next, but stay tuned. Hopefully I can get that out for Christmas and we can give away some Martini products. Stay safe, love yous. That's it from me. Look forward to the next video. Don't forget to drop a comment in on what you think and any ideas. And good, bad and the ugly, chuck them in. Love yous. You.